Okay. Happy team call night. It is December 14th. This has been so long since we've done a team call like this. I'm excited to have you guys back to myself, selfishly, but I guess what we should do, and I didn't even write anything down, but do some housekeeping stuff. We still have the flash sale going on for 9-week Control Freak. The coach window is open right now until Monday, and Monday starts the customer launch. So the prices will remain the same. It's just a matter of getting them in as a coach or getting them in as a customer. I had really been pushing people to enroll as a coach, because obviously more accountability and better results long term, but also because of shipping. But I think they've got their shipping game down, because I already got my shipment last week. I know a lot of other people who have ordered have gotten it in. So whatever they did to prepare for 9-week Control Freak is working, and people have their stuff. So our group, you obviously are welcome to do whatever is right for you, but Laura and I are starting our 9-week group with a prep week, January 18th, and officially starting the program. January 11th is prep week. January 18th, we are starting as a group. We did it that far out because of shipping. We didn't want to run into the issue of planning it earlier and then people not getting their stuff. Now, obviously, we could reconfigure that, but I don't plan to, because I want to take people through a round of 21-day fix December 28th. So that's the plan. And the flash sale, in case you have people in there from the coach launch, you can still add people, still have them in there. We're going to revamp that all for the customer launch Monday. So you can keep inviting to that and keep talking about that. It's not for everyone, but what I keep telling people is if they don't feel comfortable, I invite people to the sample. If they don't feel 100% comfortable or confident doing that program, to go through a round of 21-day fix starting on December 28th. Chances are, after a round of 21-day fix, they'll feel confident enough to do that and at least modify the program. If not, we have a whole library of other things they can choose from. So it certainly doesn't have to be 9-week Control Freak, but I know some people are obsessed with autumn. So I think that's it for groups coming up. I know for 2021, hi Megan, I am going to plan 2 coaching webinars for January and also 2 coach sneak peeks. I'm going to get really a lot better about planning a calendar out and really being diligent about what is coming up. I have huge goals for 2021. I want to be elite by Summit, so we've got to get to work. We're going to have a goal setting team call, maybe vision board event to plan out what we want for our lives, for our businesses for 2021. And also, as I've said in the team page, Laura and I are going to combine our team pages for next year and hopefully just bring the energy, bring the momentum, do what we've done with our challenge groups and just join forces to, I don't know, make it more exciting, make it more fun. We love all the fun. So, and we're going to have a retreat. We're going to do a retreat in the summer. So hopefully COVID will go away and we'll all have vaccines and everything will be gone. So I am going to start. It was so funny. I asked my VA to make a graphic for the team call and I said growth, and this is a perfect lesson in communication. I should have come up with a title that I wanted to have on the graphic. Instead, I said, can you make a graphic? The topic is growth. And then I see the graphic and I'm like, it just says growth. But obviously, if I wanted to say something different, I should have asked for something different. So growth is the topic, really, talking about fear and things like that. So, oh my God, I'm already hot. So one quote that I heard from John Maxwell is, the world is not right or wrong, it's grow or retreat. And I think that is such a powerful quote because it really says something about how we're living our lives. Either we're going towards the uncomfortable things, towards the things that scare us, or we're backing away. And this business is, what we like to say is, it's a personal growth journey attached with a compensation plan. And that couldn't be more true. We're here, and the things that we do are so uncomfortable and different and really outside of the box that they make us grow and they scare us. And either we go towards those things or we go back to who we were before. So, something Josh Coach says all the time is our self-limiting beliefs always find a way to tell a story of what we believe. And if you're looking towards these things that are scaring you and they're bringing up a sense of fear in you, you're going to find a story to whatever that self-limiting belief is. So if you're, scared to invite people, let's say, to 9-week Control Freak, and you've had somebody tell you no in the past, you could tell yourself, oh, nobody wants to join me. I'm not good enough to lead a group. Or, let's say you have issues with money, and money is an issue in your life. You could tell yourself, oh, people don't have money to do this, so nobody's going to say yes to me. I'm not going to put myself out there and invite them. And something that you have to remember in this business is that there is no one that has some special secret sauce. Everyone who's successful, the only difference between you or them is that they just keep going despite these fears. So something that I learned about was a smoke alarm, right? Everybody has a smoke alarm in their house. And sometimes the smoke alarm goes off and it does not indicate that there's a fire. All it indicates is that there's something that you have to look at. There's something that you need to look at deeper, investigate a little more. Maybe it's that the oven is, has pizza burning in it, or, I don't know, maybe your teenager smoking a cigarette in their bedroom. I don't know. That's what I used to do when I was little. But it doesn't always mean there's a fire, but it's there in case there is a fire to alert you to that. And fear works exactly the same way. When you are facing a fear, that smoke alarm in your head, in your body, in your heart is going to go off. And it's up to you how to proceed. Do you retreat? Or do you investigate that fear further and keep going and dig a little deeper? So there, and we know that dealing with like a smoke detector in our house, we know how to operate that. We know, we're familiar with how that works, but we don't deal with fear the same way. And oftentimes we retreat, we find those self-limiting beliefs and tell a story to ourselves about why we need to retreat. And then we go back to how we were before. So, a lot of the times, these are things that you have never conquered before, or you've never faced before. And how this looks in the coaching world, and this starts from the very beginning. I remember, and it was funny, I went back to my very first posts the other day because somebody asked in my Instagram stories how long I'd been a coach, and I wanted to share my first coach post. And I noticed that I joined in January, and that's when I started my like page. And in February, I remember my coach saying to me, like, we need to see your face. Like, you need to put your face on social media. And I was like, oh God. Like, before that, I had just posted like quotes and like, I don't know, like outdoor pics and things like that. And I remember that first time saying, okay, like, I have to do this. And that was one of those moments. That smoke detector was going off and telling me, what the hell do you think you're doing, putting your face on social media? And I could have retreated and not done what she had said, but I went towards the growth. I went towards the fear. I went towards that smoke signal going off. And I said, okay, what is going to happen? What is the worst thing that could happen? And I remember like people liking that, and the engagement went up on my post, and I was like, oh my God, she was right. Like, showing my face made a difference. It made it more real, So, and what's interesting about this journey, and this is, and why this is a personal growth journey, is that there, in every aspect of the coaching business, there's things like this. people don't like in the real world or in the normal world, we're not asking people to do things like this. You go to school, you wake up and go to school. Maybe you are asked to do like a presentation that makes you uncomfortable, but that's also normal. Like that's a normal thing in school, you know. And you go to college and then you get a job, and these are things that people expect. Our job is freaking weird. We're putting ourselves on social media, we're sharing these journeys, we are sharing, you know, our struggles and our successes, and we're putting ourselves out there to this really vulnerable place that people can judge us. And at naturally, we don't want that. We want to blend into the crowd. We don't want people to judge us. We don't want people to question our motives. We don't want people to talk about us. We don't want people to, you know, say, what is she doing, or how could she be doing this, or anything like that. So it's natural that we tell ourselves these stories to make ourselves retreat and not grow. So, or another one is that we've tried before and failed. So inviting is like this. Inviting, I mean, I'm 5 years into the business, and I mean, I've only been coaching consistently for like 2.5, but inviting, I don't even foresee a future that doesn't involve inviting for me. I hope to one day get to the point where I can open my inbox like Melanie Mitro and hit Success Club 100 just from people filling out a form, but I'm not there yet. I don't know if I'll ever be there yet. Part of my job is inviting, and I just accept that. So every single day I wake up knowing that I have to do that. But the point is that a lot of coaches will do the invites, say, oh, this person said no, so I failed, and I'm not going to do that again because I've tried this and it doesn't work. And that's where you get into this mindset in the business where you say, okay, I've tried and now I failed and I'm not going to continue again. And in our culture, in our society, you know, if you're in the business world, you see failure differently. But typically, failure is looked at in a negative way. People that fail are not people that we rise up to stardom. They're people that we like use as a warning sign, or as like, you know, this is what goes wrong in these situations. So, you know, I think what's really important in these instances is not only to go towards the uncomfortable, but it's also to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with other people who are putting themselves out there and failing, and who know and understand the business part of this, the mindset that failure is a part of this. And I heard this really, really good analogy that, you know, the people that are the most successful are the ones who have had the highest rates of failure. And the people who have the highest level of success are the people who come to that. So I guess, I don't know much about this, but I heard this and I wanted to share it. So in baseball, the players that go to the Hall of Fame are the ones who have like a 30% chance of hitting the ball, which sounds really low because it is low, right? But these people come up to the plate, pitch after pitch, believing that that's going to be their hit that's going to get them there. And in reality, they only hit 30% of them. That still gets them into the Hall of Fame. So the people who are the most successful in this business are the people who get up to the mound every single day, pitch after pitch, and still believe that they're going to be successful. And literally, that's what brings you success in coaching. It's just getting out there and doing this every single day, believing and knowing that maybe this is not going to be the one that you're going to win, but knowing that the more you do it is going to get you to that place. Keith Anderson, he wrote Build to Last, and he had a great analogy that, what is that game, like Flip Cup? But I don't think it's Flip Cup, because that's a drinking game. But anyways, when you're like talking to potential coaches, you don't know where they are. You don't know. So you have a let's say a table of cups in front of you, and you're flipping. Is that Flip Cup? No, that's not Flip Cup. Is that Flip Cup? No. Okay. Okay. Everything is a drinking game. So you have this table of cups in front of you, and you have to uncover all of them to find out where your coaches are. You don't know how many, but let's say you have this table of 50 and you only have 2 in that table. If you only invite one coach per day, it's going to take you 50 days to get to those coaches. But if you keep flipping, the faster you're going to get to those people underneath the cups. So you have to think about that every single day, putting yourself out there. And I know for me, like the way that I think about it, because I've had so many people that either I didn't invite in time or didn't present the opportunity to, that said yes to someone else, or didn't know about the opportunity that I had. And that is always like, that hits me harder than a no any day of the week. I had a customer who I thought I always talked about the coaching opportunity. I feel like I'm talking about it incessantly, but I reached back out to her to check on how she was doing with the program. And she told me that, everything was great. She loved her program, and she had just started I don't know, like a nail business or something. And I was like, oh my God, like, why didn't you join me as a coach? And then came the worst response ever. She was like, I didn't know about it. And I was like, oh my God. So those are the times that I'm always like, don't ever have those. And you're going to have those, but try not to have those. Talk about the opportunity. Even if you feel like you're talking about it a lot, chances are you're probably not. And the person may not have heard you in the amount of time. And no, if you talk to these people, you'll hear how many people are in their inboxes. So know that if you don't invite somebody, or if you have somebody on your dream team that is there, someone else will invite them. And, one of my stories, and I'm getting off topic, but she was a friend of mine. She was one of my biggest supporters on my like page when I started my business. She always commented, always liked. And I knew that she was on sort of a fixed income. So I never invited her. And guess what? She started doing the Thrive patches and is a coach and has been doing it for 3 years. And every time I see the post, it kills me. I decided for her. I decided what she could afford. I decided what was right for her. And how selfish of me to do that. I have no idea what someone can afford. I have no idea what someone's goals are. I have no idea what someone wants for themselves. And just knowing my relationship with her, I know that could have been an opportunity that she was open to, but I lost it because I decided for her. So don't decide for other people. We have no right to decide what someone else, what someone else's goals or finances look like. So anyways, why can't I read my own handwriting? Oh yeah. So success as a network marketer is going into these, stories, posts, DMs, invites, and facing no after no. And, I'm too busy, and after the holidays, and, this business isn't right for me, and coach cancellations. And it's going into these situations that are just natural in part of our world and not getting bogged down by them. So going again, instead of retreating, instead of taking these rejections and sitting on your ass about it, getting back up. And for me, that means digging into personal development, because I make sure that I do personal development that talks about business. And if you listen to any business personal development, this shit is part of it. It is you getting knocked down, and it's getting back up and having that desire to change your financial future, to change the world and give people tools that that benefits them. And it's going to be around the people who also understand this, so that you're not staying in that place of those self-limiting beliefs, telling you that story and saying, why did you ever think this would be right for you? Why did you ever think that you could make a difference? Why did you ever think you would be successful in this? And we all have our own stories that tell these things to us. But it's, and don't get me wrong, I have my freaking moments. I have my moments of self-doubt. I have my moments of, what are you even thinking? But I don't dwell in those. And I know that my success depends on me getting back up there, getting up to that pitching mound, getting back up there and saying, I believe what I'm doing. I believe in my success. I believe in this opportunity, and I'm going to keep going, because that's the only way that I can succeed. So, yeah, so can you continue to get up and look at every single conversation as that opportunity for your next win? And can you get up there and continue to do it with confidence? You have to keep showing up and believing. And that is the one thing that every single person in this business does. And I'm in this Push Elite group, obviously with the girls from Josh Coates, and every single one of them has the same struggles, the same things that we all deal with. And it's different levels, right? Like at different levels of leadership. I don't get bummed by no's. I hear no's all the time. But when I open my email to a coach cancellation, it's like, depending on who it is, it can really be like a knife in the stomach. It hurts, and it doesn't get easier. You just have to get stronger, and you have to understand that in this business, in network marketing, people have a shelf life of like 3 months. That's why you're never rebuilding. I talked to my corporate mentor, Brandy, last week, and I said something about I'm in rebuild. And she was like, eliminate that from your vocabulary. You're never rebuilding in this business. You should always be building, because if you're playing defensively, which is what I did, I hit diamond 2 years ago this December. It was just my anniversary. And I played my business totally on the defense at that time. It was, I'm diamond. Okay, everybody stay. But that's not reality. People are going to quit. They're going to fall off. They're going to go inactive. So guess what? I was a diamond for like maybe 2 weeks. And then I lost my diamond for a full year, because you can't stop recruiting. You have to keep recruiting. You have to keep bringing people in, and know you're going to get the coach cancellations. This is not going to be for everybody for the long run. Their vision is not always going to be the same as yours, and you have to keep growing. So you have to keep challenging yourself to saying, what's the next step for me? How do I keep growing? How do I keep getting to that point of developing my skills as a leader? And that's something that being in the Push Elite really, really taught me, because I said, and I've told you guys this before, but when I joined last January, I was really excited, but I was really scared because I was all of a sudden this little fish in this very big pond. And until that point, I mean, I had a period of growth, obviously, in this business, but until that point, I was really like kind of the big fish. Like I was always the one sending the most invites. I was always the one, showing up for, power hours and doing all the things. And all of a sudden, I was this person that was surrounded by people who were quadrupling my Success Club numbers, quadrupling what I was doing in terms of business activities and growing a team and leadership and all of that. And I froze. I froze like a deer in headlights for 2 months. And my business suffered. I did not recruit during that time. It was Bar Blend's launch. So Bar Blend was not my jam program. I'm not a dancer. I'm not graceful. Just did not attract my people. And it was March, and I was like, what am I doing? I can go hide in a corner and stay where I am, or I can jump into this group as terrified as I am and do something. And so that's what I did. I signed up for like leading these power hours, like leading live power hours. I was petrified. Like these other people that I was doing it with just seemed so much more experienced than I did. And that imposter syndrome came in, and I was like, why do you feel like you can do this? Why do you feel like you're even meant to be here? And there were some messages that I had with Josh Coates, and I was like, I don't belong here. And he was like, you applied. I wouldn't have invited you if you didn't belong here. Just freaking do your thing. And luckily I did. And my numbers not quadrupled, but they got a lot better in March because I jumped in, because I went toward the growth, because I went toward the opportunities. So if you're ever presented with opportunities, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but your coach, offers you coach sneak peek, do it. Your coach offers you flash sale presentation, you do it. Megan Ewaldson, if she says jump, I say how high, because Megan Ewaldson makes $36,000 a month. She has been in the business for 7 years and is a total boss. So she asks me, I'm there. And, you know, of course, now I give opportunities to the other newbie coaches, but you would be so shocked at how many people that she works with don't jump up when she offers something. So, you know, be there and know that if something scares you, you got to do it. Like that's my thing. If something like gets me in the stomach and I'm like, I really don't want to do like 75 hard. I'm doing the 75-day hard starting January 1st. It makes me want to vomit. It makes me want to throw up all over the place. Like following a nutrition plan, like drinking that thing of water a day, not drinking for 75 days. Like I don't like want to do it, but that means I have to, because I have to challenge myself. I know I'm capable of doing it, and I want to see what happens at the end of it. So go towards the opportunities for growth, especially if it's scary, because otherwise you're the same and everything will stay the same. And like, oh my God, I was thinking today about this. Like, you know, I have some dear friends that I love so much, but like when I talk to them, it's like they're the same person they were in high school or in college. And I know you guys have some people in your life like this, and it's heartbreaking. Sometimes it's really reassuring, right? Like it's like, oh, this person's the same, but then you're like, they're exactly the same. And I don't want that for myself. I want to be like, I saw this quote and I actually have to find it in my phone because I lost it, but it was something like, if you met me at 20, you were, you know, we didn't even have money for the cast, and it was like basically saying like, you don't even know what is of me now. And that's what I want people to look at me and be like, who the hell is this person? Because this is not who I knew 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago. I want to keep growing, keep challenging myself, and encourage the people around me to do that. So okay, yeah. And then the last thing I had was, say to yourself, what is the growth move? And that is what I try to do literally every single day. You know, what is the thing that is going to make me grow, that is going to get me closer to my goals? What is going to enhance my relationships? And it's not always the comfortable thing, and it shouldn't be, but that is what's going to help you grow and move forward. So it's growing or retreating, and that's always a choice. So what do you choose? You know, growing or retreating? And I'm always going to freaking choose growing. And that's the only, like instead of focusing, so many coaches are like, well, how do you invite? How do you run this group? How do you onboard new coaches? How do you, you know, find success? It's not about that. The only thing it's about is making that decision every single day to keep growing, and keep showing up with confidence that that is going to be the time that you succeed. That's it. Because so many people just give up and they find those excuses that say, oh, well, this didn't work for me. It didn't work because people said no, or people didn't have money, or people didn't do this, or people didn't do that. The successful coaches, we all deal with all of that, and we just keep going. So you just have to keep going and going towards the growth. That's all I got for you guys. Anyone have any questions? Questions about anything, groups or?
Oh, but I think that I friended like one of your people, and then I invited them, and they were like, I'm with Melissa. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I've like, totally done that.
You know, I'd be inviting everybody. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, go for it.
Megan, I might invite you next.
You know what?
Bring it on.
I'm gonna stop recording.